Hello, everybody, and welcome to the worst idea of all time. A salutation that I begin all episodes with, which is pretty fucking wild considering we've been doing this show for 7 years now.
You got to do that. All the big TV shows do that. All
They
the
do,
big
eh?
radio shows do that.
But it's so weird. It makes no sense.
Well, you just assume that someone's dropping by for the first time.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, if you are dropping by for the first time, welcome. This is not our normal recording environment. You might hear a little more echo than usual, and that's because for some unearthly reason, my neighbor was like, you know what I want to do today? Rip up the backyard using heavy earthworks equipment and not tell Tim ahead of time, which was real cool of Phil. Shout out to Phil. So,
I quite like that guy, Phil.
he's a fucking cool guy.
He's a really
he actually
cool guy.
rules. He's great.
What does he do for a job?
He works in the film industry. He does special effects and I want to say like extreme set building, kind of set design, art design stuff.
The short answer would be,
Blomkamp.
the short answer would be
District 9, bro.
Very well for himself is how he does.
You might also hear on this episode, there is a third person. It is my great pleasure and distinct honor to welcome Australian sweetheart Michael Hing to the podcast.
Hello, Tim. Hello, Guy.
Hello.
Hello, listener.
Michael.
Guy, what is this attitude you're bringing to this? What is going on?
There was nothing sinister about that. I was just saying hello to my friend,
There was a
Michael
tone.
Hing. There was not a
Yeah, there was
tone.
certainly a tone. No, I think Tim and I both heard a tone there. So.
Okay, I see what happens here.
Hing, how are you,
The
buddy?
two betas stand on each other's shoulders to try and feel like an alpha dog.
Yeah, that's me. Whenever I achieve greatness, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of betas. No, I'm very well, Tim. I'm very well. I'm currently in Melbourne for the comedy festival, and it's weird not having you guys around. You know, usually I'd be able to go and have coffee with you guys or something, or pass you in the street and scowl at you.
Watch porn thigh to thigh.
Yeah, it's doing this podcast without getting the full experience of sitting and watching a pornographic film in the same room as you guys really feels like a disservice to the podcast.
It's a lot sadder, isn't it?
It shines a much brighter spotlight on the exact activity.
Did you watch this one in a cafe alone again, Guy? Where did you watch this one?
No, I resisted the overwhelming urge to take my endeavours public. I watched it actually at the very table I'm sitting at, which is almost as sinister. I'm sitting at my kitchen table in the house I share.
There's something about like getting up, getting dressed, shower, shave, breakfast, sitting down, tucking into a porno at the dining table, which is dark.
It's important to know that I actually showered and dressed after the porno. I watched this in my underpants and a hoodie. It was so grim. And then I was only going to shower because I was going to come to your house. Then you said, oh, we got earthworks. And I was like, wow, I've still got to fucking shower, don't I?
Yeah.
I don't want you coming around watching me finish the porno in my underpants, you know.
Yeah. Well, luckily our streams didn't cross, so it was all good. What about you, Hang? What were your watching conditions?
My watching conditions were I started watching it at my place of work, which is the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, because I don't think I fully understood how pornographic this film was. Because you'd said it was, I guess I knew it was softcore pornography, but I guess I didn't really know what softcore pornography was.
What did you think softcore pornography was?
I thought it was you wouldn't see any boobies or any nudity. I thought it would just sort of be
So you
implied.
thought it was like
A movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a movie in which sex as a concept exists, but it's not explored.
Yeah, like
so any movie.
Yeah. Well, you got to understand that I'm quite a prude, but so I started watching this. This was after work, so everyone had gone home, and I sort of tucked into the. I certainly downloaded it on the work Wi-Fi, so that's fun. And then I started watching it, and then I reckon about. What was the first boobs you see are probably like 5 minutes in. It's quite close to the top.
If that, yeah, it's they're straight in there. There's quite a lot of sex in this one as well. I said that about another one that we watched, but like it varies quite a bit. The amount of
anyway,
sex.
I very quickly packed up. Embarrassed that someone might walk by and see me and also I guess when you're watching pornography of any kind, I guess you're worried that you'd be so overcome by the erotic powers in the pornography that you could just end up needing to relieve yourself. And I obviously did not want to do that at work.
Take a whiz.
But cum whiz.
A cum whiz guy.
Oh, wow. That is,
Come on, man.
that is nasty.
And so I was like, just on the off chance that that I would have to do that, I scurried home to the apartment I'm staying at.
I've always liked the way you scurry. A lot of people have a sort of loping gait, but not Michael Hing. Here is a man who only has one mode of transport.
It's the scurry.
And it
It's
is
a loping gait. Is that
to
like
scurry.
a
It's sort of
wide
like
stride?
loping gait would be how like a tall person walks. It's sort of like boom, 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 boom.
Right, and if
And
you
now-
had
now,
to do
what is the
musical
sound
scurrying,
of Hing? Yeah.
that's just this guy scratching his microphone there for a bit of fun.
They will have heard. You might not have. We might be connected on a microphone that's not the one. But I think
see.
I articulated a pretty accurate scurry. So you scurried home,
scurried
boner
home.
in hand, phone in the other.
Can I actually? I'm currently staying in an Airbnb, and I don't know if you're interested in this. You're probably not, but I'll tell you anyway.
Not so far.
Hang, I'm interested in everything that's going on with you.
And this is why Tim is the favorite guy. You know, this is why. But I'm staying in an Airbnb in a very tall apartment block, and my Airbnb host has told me to tell the security and the concierge that I am her nephew. And
Love
and
that.
so yeah, so that's that. So I am, and the thing is that she must have lived here for a while beforehand, so they know her. So I was like, let's say her name's Sarah. I'm like Sarah's nephew, and then they were like, how is Sarah? And so I've had to start messaging my Airbnb host for personal details of her life, so I can forward them on to the concierge and security staff at the apartment complex.
Are you getting a good rate there, like in exchange for? This seems like quite a to-do.
It's very cheap. It's very cheap to stay here, and it's a very nice apartment building.
It might
So, yeah.
very well be the first page of the great Australian love story. This sort of sounds like the sort of serendipitous circumstance which might lead two people to discovering true love.
Do you think Michael Hing and the owner of the apartment?
Or the concierge. Could be
Okay.
anyone, really.
Could be anyone. Love is
The important
everywhere,
thing-
man.
The important thing is I'm involved, guy.
Yeah, keep your eyes open. I hate that for you, man. It's like I'm paying to stay here. I'm
Yeah,
not
good
pay-
rate though. This is why I'm okay with it.
No,
If you're
but
getting
say-
a good deal, it's like yes.
I'm not paying to lie on your behalf. Like I'm not paying to feel guilty every time I enter my accommodation.
Say love.
Yeah, but I will say that I do love the idea of like an acting gig. You know, that's quite exciting for me to get an acting gig.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's
So really,
one way. That's one way to look at lying.
You're brushing up your performance skills ahead of taking the stage at the Melbourne
Yes.
International Comedy Festival. Hey,
Yes.
we should probably talk a bit more about this film. So
Of course.
this is interesting because this is part of the Emmanuel 2000 series, but the title of this film is actually Emmanuel 2001. Sensual Desires, I think is the name.
Something along those lines.
And
yeah.
the opening shot is of two big, beautiful buildings, which did exist in New York City for the first half of 2001.
And a little bit of the second half.
Yes,
Let's not forget about the great months of July and August.
it's true.
Nor September's 1 through 10.
I do wonder when, because I get like, these movies, Michael, are so odd because what's happened is there's about 6 or 7 actors that are in all 7 of these films, and there's about 3 musical tracks that they've made that play in all the movies. And so, because Guy and I have now watched, these are happening the record's happening slightly out of sequence. We've now watched all of them.
Right.
Next week will be the final one, but we've already recorded and watched that. And it's been like very hard to keep everything straight because not only is it the same actors in every movie, but you may have noticed this in this movie. Every movie contains 3 distinctly different stories. So there's like
It's a 3-act structure. Yeah.
21 tales being told quickly by 6 people
I
in
don't-
3 songs.
I don't know that it is a 3-act structure because a 3-act structure would all be pertaining to one overarching storyline. But these are 3 short films.
Sorry, I don't know. Have you studied film at university, Guy?
I literally have.
Well, I haven't, and this is my understanding of the 3-act structure. My understanding of the 3-act structure is the first act it always takes place in some sort of business, I guess, a corporation.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
on the same page here.
The second act, I believe, is some sort of fantasy in a poolside arena. And then the third act, traditionally, and this is going back to Shakespeare and the poets of yore, the third act is usually on a boat, is my understanding.
Always.
Okay, so those three parts are true. Obvious, that we can agree upon that. It's more about the connectivity of these three parts of the story. Would you say that what was happening in the first act was relevant to what was happening in the third act?
I mean, maybe not literally, but certainly in a metaphorical sense, of course.
So, Hing, can you take us through what you remember happening in this film?
So I've taken some quite extensive notes, and I guess in the
Just,
first,
you just read the funniest ones.
I think I'll do the boring ones about the weird edits and cuts. No, I guess in the first part of the film, it is really centering around a kind of a Wall Street style financial brokerage, which where a wife is quite mad at her husband, and Emmanuel 2000 uses her mind control amulet and tiara combination to bring them back together in love.
Nice to hear the word amulet out and about.
Yes, it is.
And also, if Leonardo DiCaprio is the Wolf of Wall Street, what animal would you describe our male hero as?
Ooh, I guess he's sort of it's hard to tell really. He doesn't really have a character.
Sloth.
He
He's
doesn't
a sloth.
really-
He needs to be picked up and carried around. And while adorable, he is neither threatening nor sexually alluring. He's certainly not like a horse, like a big, powerful, sexy horse. He's like the opposite of a horse, which I think is a sloth.
But there was one thing in the film, in this first part of the film, the Wall Street portion of the film, that really struck me, and that is that I could not quite understand what the exact powers of the amulet tiara combination were. What is the mind control powers? So if I could just pitch something to you
Please.
guys.
Yeah.
The first thing is obviously, if I have sex while I'm wearing the tiara, the person who's wearing the amulet also has sex. That's number one, right?
Keep going.
Number two, if I give commands while wearing the tiara, the person wearing the amulet must obey those commands. Yes?
This is very Isaac Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics. This is
Okay.
cool. What? Yeah, keep going.
Number three, if either
An
of us
amulet may not allow harm to come to a human by action or inaction.
Number three, if either of us come, the stock market raises about 800%. That is,
Now, that one was an addition just for this film, and I
Yeah.
will admit, Michael Hing, that caught me off guard as well. The other powers I was used to after the last half dozen of these, but the weird cross-cutting of sexual climax being, grasped for, and they're heading towards that, being mapped by the stock market going up, and one of the most hilarious graphs. I mean, guys, you got to see this graph. The title of the graph was "Stock Market Rising." I don't think there was any unit of measure on X or Y. You would assume that X is a time scale and Y is money. But what index are we measuring here? Is this the Dow Jones? Is this the NASDAQ? Is it FTSE maybe?
It's the stock market. It's written on the graph, and it is rising.
It's rising.
The closer people come to orgasm, the more that thing rises.
And I thought initially this could have been a coincidence. I thought it could have been just like, oh, this is like when in a sex film when they cut away to a train going into a tunnel or something, and this is meant to like metaphorically represent sexual pleasure. But there's a moment in the film during this sex scene where they're fucking, and he says to the lady, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it," because he's being distracted by the rising graph while he's having sex with his wife.
He's not yet having sex.
She's masturbating.
Yeah,
in
his
front
wife
of
is
him,
masturbating.
which is bringing
sure,
the stock
sorry.
market up,
And
which
he's-
is wild.
Yeah, he's watching a graph. She's masturbating, and everyone is kind of winning.
And the markets are loving it.
That's right.
This guy's
sort
an
of-
idiot. A little context as well. So he's got a partner in the firm who appears to be his boss. I've got to say, the power dynamic with those two is fucking all off. There's sexual tension between them. They've never engaged in that. But this is why he and his partner are having a tiff. Because she's like, "Hey, man, you spend too much time at work with this woman." He's like, "Hey, man, someone's embezzled money, all this money in 6 different accounts, and I have to track it down. Anyway, should we go get a drink?
He tries to atone. He says he works too much, and when he's not at work, he's thinking about work. And he
But then he gets very worried that he's got to figure out where this money's going, which I understand because it seems like the firm is going to go down if he doesn't figure it out. But then immediately invites Emmanuel and his partner out for a drink in the midst of the hunt.
And then when he goes to the bathroom, his wife says to Emmanuel, I don't really go for ladies, but if I did, it'd be a woman like you. And Emmanuel says, wanna hook up?
Yeah, and they do, man.
Yeah.
Was that hot stuff for you, Hing? Did you love a bit of that?
I was baffled by that. So she cheats on her husband with Emmanuel, but that's without the amulet being used. That's sort of just cheating.
Yeah, but
it was 2001. The Twin Towers were still up, and women could kiss women without it counting as cheating.
And also, it's sort of like, when you get out of a bath and your body is still emanating heat as though you're in the bath. I feel like she was still in the afterglow of that incredible sort of makeup sex that she had with her partner in the office. And, she could draw a direct line between the arrival of Emmanuel and that event. I feel like she was still in a sexual haze. Well, amulet or no.
During this bit, the boss then steals the tiara.
That's right.
Lady boss.
Yeah, lady boss. Yeah, girl boss
Girl
steals
boss.
the tiara. And Elizabeth takes off the necklace in anger. Oh, wait, sorry, no, I've got confused for a second. Sorry, I got my notes confused. Sorry. She steals the tiara and then takes herself back to the office, referring to herself as one hot piece of ass and saying that she wants Marcus, who's the main character.
Oh, I thought she was talking about him. Was she talking about herself?
Yeah, she's saying she's saying I want hot piece of ass. Why doesn't he like me? So then she then makes him come.
He's wearing the amulet.
Yeah, so he's wearing the amulet. She then says, like via the control device, come back to the office and fuck me or whatever. And then, so he does. While the other two are making out, they suddenly get a sense of what's going on.
Because Emmanuel knows the bigger picture of how this device works. No one else kind of knows. Everyone's just
everyone else is new to it. But Emmanuel is a field researcher for a doctor.
And she's like, oh no, they've got the necklace and amulet.
Which I guess is that's another question that came out in this. I guess in movies, as a performer, as an actor, you want to understand the motivation of the characters. And I don't really, it's never explicitly said what Emmanuel is trying to achieve through her scientific escapades. She's just saying she wants to do research, but to what end?
So glad we can help with this. There is a couple who haven't been referenced in this film for some reason, but they're in every other one of these Emmanuel
they were
2000s.
I think they were briefly in this. Or maybe that was in the opening credits. I feel
You're
like
a
I saw
fucking
her.
liar.
Jesus Christ.
And not the good kind like Hing where he's brushing up his acting skills. Woo! The kind where you're going to lead our audience astray. Dr. Maggie Hansen is a wheelchair-bound scientist who has created these devices
So that
some weird reason.
she can have sex with her husband again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she can like have all the sensation of having
I think
sex.
I think she briefly appears in the movie.
Oh, wow. Well, that feels really good.
I'm sorry, but if I could maybe broker some peace between the two of you, Tim, I think you've got something you need to say to Guy.
Hey, Guy, my bad. I'm sorry.
No worries, dude.
I messed up.
Forget about it. I'm over it.
You're not even looking at me. What are you looking at? You're looking directly into the webcam.
I'm looking at you in the computer.
Just look at me. I'm sorry, man.
It's fine.
It's out of hand.
No, it's okay.
Guy, when people say we're sorry, we don't say I'm fine, do we?
I said it's fine. I said it's fine. I'm not fine. I said
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, we
what's
don't
the
say
apology version of you're welcome? Because we don't have one and we need one.
Well,
Oh, apology accepted.
Your
Yeah, I
welcome
think
is pretty good.
I'm sorry. You're welcome.
I guess the thing I don't understand is what Emmanuel is trying to achieve. What is Emmanuel trying to achieve?
She loves fucking and she loves science. So she's kind of brought together her two passions by teeing up with this scientist couple to parade around the world putting the device in different people, and she sends all the data back to them for like analysis.
She was patient X in their experiments.
But I guess is the idea that with this new device they want to release it commercially to the public?
I think there was brief talk of that in the first episode, right? Which we watched last.
I think they're still in beta testing phase. I think they're just like...
But they are talking about this being an actual thing eventually that people could buy. I think that was mentioned.
It would be, if this product was released in the open market, it would be anarchy.
Truly it would.
Yes, it would.
The power it has is so great. People don't, people were like when the horse of Wall Street, or whatever, the sloth of Wall Street goes back to fuck his boss. He's sort of having sex there, and he's just like, I don't know what's happening right now.
That sex is so funny as well.
Yeah.
It was. I don't think that guy's ever had sex before.
Because
he was in
before the
that-
actor or the character?
The actor. I don't think
Yeah.
he had any reference point because there were a couple sex scenes with him in it, and at no point was I like, oh yeah, that's how it goes. He was just kind of like flopping on top of women like a fish.
But acting is hard. He might be a dynamite having sex in real life, but then
It gets inside his head. Yeah.
Like it would be tough. This might be his first gig, and it's not just he's got to act. He's also got to act like he's having sex.
Well, we know it's not his first gig. He's been in 6 other of these films.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what order they were shot in. Well, this one was shot last.
Exactly.
Well, what I'm trying to say is give the guy a break. I mean, I think it might be harder to act in a softcore pornography than a hardcore pornography.
Wow. Okay, that's an interesting take. Why is it? Because there needs to be, because there's less like heavy-handed dicking about.
Well, like one of them, it's like it's impossible. One of them, exactly what you've got to do. The hardcore porn, and then the softcore porn, it's like you're dancing around the edges, so you're not actually totally present within yourself. You're acting. You're in your head the whole time.
Wow.
And hardcore porn, you can just be like, okay, well, this is the bit where we have sex, and you have sex.
What's the Patreon tier for you guys to make a softcore pornography film? How much money? What's the Patreon stretch goal for that?
I actually might be making a pornography with some other friends.
How does that make you feel, Guy, to be cut from the pornography project?
Fine. I hope that it gets off the ground, but
We've got some funding things pending, but it actually looks like it might happen.
Wow.
I'm actually already overwhelmed by the amount of pornographic material in my life. I don't think me making more is a solution to how I feel. I found this movie so hard to watch. It was so I was just so frustrated and bored.
Yeah, what did you? Because we will get into how it kind of stacks up to the rest of them. But Hang, like, just I know there's lots more of the plot, and we can talk about it, and we should. And you've taken notes, and I want to respect that. But
That's fine.
Fuck, man, what did you think of this movie overall?
I thought it was very boring. I thought it was boring, and it didn't make a lot of sense. Because but I also have in my brain, I just want to do a good job for my friends, Guy and Tim. So I was desperately trying to make it
I was just yawning
funny.
as Michael was extending that olive branch, by the way. I want everyone to know.
Why would anyone need to know that?
On a fucking webcam. You can get away with that sort of when it's a voice-only call.
Well, I took extensive notes, and I desperately have tried to make to kind of like blood from a stone, try to get anything funny out of this film. But I guess it wasn't very horny to me because I find mind control stuff very unsexy. It's very unsexy.
You messaged us in the midst of watching, and you were like, "This has got some dicey ethics."
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing what you said.
Yeah, just because, I think up until for decades, centuries, love potions and mind control and love spells were just thought of as a regular fun thing that was able to be in stories and stuff. And I think, obviously, we look at it now and we're like, well, I wouldn't like to undergo that. I don't think anyone would like to undergo that. That seems awful. And so watching it was very difficult for me to get horny or get around that because of that dilemma.
Well, I'm really sorry that you couldn't successfully gain an erection at work watching a porno in a government-funded radio station.
It was 2001, Michael. It was a different time. George W. was roaming the White House. The Twin Towers stood loud and proud at the bottom of the Isle of Manhattan. And if a woman had a tiara and an amulet, well, the world was pretty much her oyster.
They also worked at 30 Rock, which I found interesting. Because when he got in the cab, he was like, 30 Rock. I was like, I know that one from the show.
So do you think these people, the stock brokerage they work at is like, it's part of NBC or something? Or like,
Yeah.
Is that how that building works? It's because it's massive, right? So it's probably got a bit of everything.
Yeah. It's probably Al-Qaeda in there or something as well. That's how they
I
planned
hope
it.
so.
From the inside, the building kind of nearby.
So when Emmanuel and the wife,
I want to make a
Elizabeth-
second apology before we go any further. I
Oh,
would
sure.
like to apologize for the 9/11 jokes I've made.
Why?
Too
To
many
who?
now.
Okay.
To me. From me to you.
You're welcome.
You're apologizing to Guy?
No, to the listener.
Okay.
And on behalf of the listener, you're welcome.
So when Emmanuel and Elizabeth turn up at the brokerage to catch Marcus fucking his boss, who's just made him come back to the office to fuck her, they're confronted and whatnot, but then the boss admits that she's embezzling funds. And then I think I can think this bit kind of got me confused. Is it as punishment she has to now wear the amulet and has to fucking blow another guy?
It was kind of... my interpretation was it wasn't quite punishment. It was that Emmanuel... You know, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Sure.
And when you're Emmanuel, you believe every social ill and relationship problem can be solved by just throwing penis or vagina at a respective party. And so I think she was like, look, this woman's done some awful things. She's been embezzling. She took over a man's body to have sex with him, which, you know, ignoring the legalities morally is reprehensible. Mm-hmm. This is clearly we're dealing with a damaged individual.
Yes.
So I'm going to try and fix her by
Keeping her in the same workplace.
catching a
Yeah.
dick for her.
Getting
Demoting
her
her and making
blow
her
a guy to
promote
make
a
him a
junior
boss.
employee and blowing him as soon as he's her superior. Seems healthy.
and
Seems like it works.
And while this is happening, the cutaways they've chosen during this sex scene are construction work, which again, very unerotic. There's nothing.
It's a thing they do in these films, saying that they like cut away to visual metaphors in the middle of the sex, and it's so confusing to figure out like if you're supposed to be masturbating to these films or not.
I imagine in 2001, it's again different time. People were jerking off to all kinds of things. They didn't know pornography like we know pornography. They didn't know sexual delight like we know sexual delight.
They didn't know the overwhelming arousal of two step siblings exploring forbidden love.
Like
Getting
the laundry.
Getting stuck in a dryer. So, okay. Marcus and Elizabeth are living happily ever after this, I guess. And then Royce, who's the fifth man who she blows, and Dana,
I
they
don't think I've
end
ever
up...
heard the name Royce before attributed to a human being.
Yeah, well, they're together. And then Emmanuel decides she's leaving the big city. But she never takes the necklace back from Dana, which makes me think for future controlling moments later on, I wondered if when they're in different settings, if Dana was still being controlled because she was still wearing the necklace.
I've seen this movie and I can't remember who Dana is. Who's what?
Dana's the boss. Dana's the
Oh,
boss.
she was the evil embezzling boss.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes.
I like that we're paying more attention to these plot particularities.
I think
than
it's an
they
interesting
did.
question. Is like if Manuel leaves Dana with a necklace, either knowingly or unknowingly, and then she goes away and starts giving out necklaces and putting on tiaras and fucking around with other people. Is that still impacting Dana?
Yeah,
Like,
is Dana still being controlled?
sort of in different environments, and not deliberately, just consequentially because she's still wearing the necklace.
But you're going about your daily life and you're just constantly moments away from extreme sexual arousal.
You're at risk.
Not under your control.
You can
That's
take
a condition,
take
actually.
the amulet off.
People have that. Constant arousal syndrome or something like that. It's a real thing.
Anyway, I feel like I don't want to go into too much detail with the next two things, but there's another scene involving. The second part of the storyline is a photographer who's trying to get his models to be more sexy.
I loved the second. I loved the second act.
Because it was more that the photographer lost his joie de vivre.
Yeah, it
for
was
his work.
It was ridiculous. there was a photographer. The purpose of the photographs he was taking was never outlined.
No.
You know, he's an old friend of Emmanuel's.
Yes.
He takes photos of the most beautiful woman in the world, but they're all lacking in sensuality. And so Emmanuel explains to him, first of all, you lie down next to this pool and have a wet dream. He does. And then he stands up and he tries to find Emmanuel and he can't.
She's
And then
disappeared.
She's disappeared. And he arrives at his studio. Emmanuel's found his photography assistant, immediately enamored by him. He looks a bit like that guy from Gossip Girl, who turned out to be Gossip Girl. Then he was in that show You.
Dan from Gossip Girl.
That's the one.
Was Dan Gossip Girl? I can't remember. I think Dan was
Yeah,
Gossip
it was. The Penn Badgley or Peg Banley or that fucking guy. Anyway, Emmanuel shows up. She's like,
You've
"I wanna
never
fuck
sounded
this-"
more like my grandfather trying to remember. His name was no, he was Peter's Peg Bingley. Peg Bing. He used to work. Now, hang on, let me get.
I'm honoured to have my name atop, the new list of moments in which I've sounded like Hing's grandfather. Another iconic moment. But yeah, I just love it because Emmanuel's like, I'm going to help this guy get his mojo back with taking photographs. And so she gets the assistant to give 2 amulets to the models.
First time we've had 2.
First time we've had 2. She
Pretty
puts
cool.
on the tiara, seduces the assistant, and then the photographer comes in and he says to his assistant, sorry I'm late, are we lit? He says yes. The photographer doesn't check any of this and starts taking photos in a paddling pool in the middle of a studio apartment.
Yeah.
And the background is just like whatever is actually lying around his apartment.
Yeah, it's fine.
We've got no idea the end game for these photographs. We don't know who these photos are for. Where are they going?
Like, it's good storytelling,
And then-
man. I don't want to get bogged down.
They start
the
stripping
detail.
off, and he's like, whoa, ladies, maybe you've been a little too naughty. And he's
Gone
like,
a little too far.
What the hell? And then he joins in. And then anyway, they have a threesome. He stops taking photos at all. And then Emmanuel's like, well, your client's going to be happy. And I was thinking, the client's going to be furious.
He took a lot of
It's like
photos before they started.
10
having
out of
sex.
focus photos. And then he just fucked the models.
Yeah, to be fair, that is frowned upon.
But then, wait. Then there's a scene where Emmanuel and PJ, which is the photographer, they are then spying on the assistant and one of the models who are on their date. And during that date, the supermodel, they go to sort of a margarita, like a Jimmy Buffett style Margaritaville kind of.
Is what it is.
And also, this has been a recurring part of the sound mix for these movies, but there was a dance floor scene where everyone's dancing and the music's mixed real low, but the footsteps are mixed up real high.
Again, don't know why it's so. Yeah, and so she
She
just blows him. She blows him in front of a crowd at a Margaritaville style bar, and that's just no one's like, what is going? No one's like shocked by this. Everyone's just sort of
did you
peering.
see the people behind him? Like they're just kind of looking like, huh? And then a whole bunch of guys come over to basically high five him,
Yeah,
who he's never met, and he's just like, yeah.
The people love it.
so then
And why wouldn't you? It was 2001.
It's an eatery.
It was
for
a
one.
different time. Yeah, and she's filling herself up.
Oh, that is
I've always thought
fucking
that.
disgusting. That is the grossest thing you've said.
And I've said some really hideous shit.
Guy has said some absolutely filthy and sordid things, but that is by far the worst.
It does seem to me, Guy, that you are fixated on this movie being the last piece of pre 9/11 content that was ever made. As though this movie somehow signaled the beginning of the war on terror, and this is the reason we can't take liquids onto aircraft anymore. Like, this is the thing that did it all.
Yeah, this is why you can't fly with water internationally. You got to buy it at the airport. Emmanuel 2001 Central Encounters.
There is the whole third part of this movie is about travel by boat. It's about being on a cruise ship, and there is a psychic.
This was the worst part of the movie, I thought.
You thought this was the worst part of the film. I thought this.
Yeah.
I actually thought this was the most interesting part of the film.
I'm probably with you, Hing, because this had a lot of elements. We had a stowaway on board. There was a cat and mouse game, but he had a love story where he was trying to get back to Olivia and he didn't have any money, so he had to stow away.
But the headline is Emmanuelle has met her match, finally, right? Because she's using her science to control people and read their minds and stuff. But she's also met on this boat a clairvoyant who also uses her natural powers to, I guess, sexually infiltrate people's minds and experience the things that they've experienced. And it results in a sort of it's quite complicated, but it results in a sort of a daisy chain of jerking off is the only way I can describe this. Because there is a man who's had sex with a woman on the boat, right? He then goes to the clairvoyant and she makes him relive that experience of having sex on the boat. And as he relives that experience, she goes into his mind using a crystal ball and she begins to pleasure herself digitally, with her hands is what I meant, not like zeros and ones. She begins to jerk off through his memories of fucking the other person. But she's also wearing the amulet. And so in her bed, on the other side of the cabin, Emmanuelle is using her memories of his memories of fucking this lady to also jerk off. It's a fucking wild time.
You like this because it was like a puzzle that you could solve.
Basically, this was my favorite part of the film, was that the plot was complicated enough that I think if I wasn't taking notes, I wouldn't have been able to keep up with it.
It was like a lateral thinking, challenge that you rose to.
I watched it this morning before coffee, and I could almost figure out what was going on. But Hing, you cracked the code. I couldn't quite piece it all together.
And
So we see Olivia, right? That's who we were watching in the dark nightclub, and she was wearing a fishnet kind of thing.
No, that's
what the fuck was that?
That's a separate sex scene. That's a separate thing. Olivia is the stowaway's long lost love who he's trying to get back to.
Yeah, no, but I thought that's who we were watching.
No, because
man, who
isn't he?
Shit?
I think he in that scene. I think he's fucking Olivia, and then
I thought there was a flashback.
He's fucking Olivia in that. No, he's met her. He's met her in the dream realm. Imagine, if you will.
Oh, so they've gone to the quantum realm to meet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, and I think the person you're referring to in the weird costume and the kind of cage, I don't think that's Olivia. I think that's the clairvoyant.
Oh my God.
I had issues with this when I watched it in real time.
So crazy that they gloss over all of this finance stuff, which someone could have told them about, but made up such intricate details about this daisy chain of psychic fucking stuff. They haven't glossed over everything, but they have glossed over some things. It's very frustrating.
During one of the sexual rendezvous on the boat, I can't remember which one exactly it was. I think it was the memory of them fucking on the original couple fucking on the boat. I don't know if this is a common theme in the Emmanuelle films, but lemon juice is used in an erotic way.
Not lemon juice specifically, but food.
Yeah, like
food
strawberries and stuff are used. But in this one, he squeezes lemon all over her and then licks it off.
It's an orange. First of all, let's get our fucking fruits right. Okay?
Is it an orange?
It's an orange.
It's an orange.
It's absolutely an orange. Yeah.
I thought it was lemon because I thought it was they're on a boat. It's in the sea. It's like seafood. You have it with lemon. I thought that was what they were doing.
Oh, okay.
And then I thought it was weird afterwards when she said, "I love oranges." I was like, "Lady, that was a fucking lemon. We all saw it."
Yang, you idiot. You beautiful idiot. You had all the clues in front of you. The picture of an orange, someone saying the word orange, and you're like, man, it's so weird they've got this lemon confused. Still a weird thing to do. But I did think we were going to get out of this movie scot-free without any food play, and then blam, they hit us with the slice. Although that we got off very lightly this time. There has been some disgusting introductions of food into the bedroom throughout this season.
To this day, what is seared into my mind's eye is
it's a rock band, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a woman performing. She's holding a peeled banana in front of a man's penis as though it's his penis, and she's performing a blowjob on the peeled banana, and just the
Goodness.
whole experience I find so stressful and
There's lots
confusing.
of cream involved, and there's lots of like sauces and things around on the table.
Now, is orange
churning.
is citrus a traditionally sexual fruit?
Oh yeah,
I kind of like the approach of orange being a sexy fruit because
it's so sticky though.
you're always dealing with your traditionals, your chocolates and stuff, which is kind of a symbol of decadence. But orange and citrus is kind of a
The working man's food play.
it is a little bit that, I guess, and that it's like easy to obtain, but it's more like it's the freshness. It's like a fresh fruit alternative to chocolate body paint.
I'd like to
you know?
see some like oats or bran introduced to the bedroom.
Or some
bran.
high fiber food play?
Yeah. I'd love to see someone just pour a big old box of Sultana bran across a bedspread and then lay down and rustle around in the sheets.
It'd be the breakfast cereal equivalent of Lego pieces.
Oh, yeah.
in your bed sheets.
Is the idea then that after you finish that, like 3 or 4 hours afterwards, you do a really regular shit? Is that the point of to really set you up?
I don't know. Yeah, I
Do
mean,
lines of Metamucil to get ready, and then eat a
Clean
whole
yourself
lot of
out?
all bran during.
I
think there's. Yeah, sorry, Hing. You
Oh,
go.
and I was just saying, I find, just to close the orange thing, my issue with it isn't just the stickiness this guy brought up, but also the acidity. I would have thought that acidity and sex do not go well together at all. You'd never use vinegar sexually, you know?
That's what makes it hot, brother. It's dangerous.
literally the forbidden fruit.
It's risky.
I think it would sting. I think, honestly, orange or citrus in any kind of sensitive area, I think would sting quite a bit.
Yeah, man. It's that whole pleasure plane. You know what I'm saying?
You know the pleasure plane
device.
You get up on the pleasure plane and you start fucking around with your citric fruits.
I think there's someone at the door. Let me just get the door and invite them in.
Here he is. Boner Inspector! Boner Inspector! Here to inspect your boners, boys!
Hey, Boner Inspector.
Hello, Mr. Boner
I'm
Inspector.
not going to waste your time today. This movie was confusing and boring.
Understood.
And I got no physical arousal from it whatsoever. I got some slight mental arousal from when I was trying to figure out how Emmanuel and the psychic teamed up to allow everyone to have sexual pleasure simultaneously with the stowaway. But that's as close as I got.
No good to me. Hing!
I tried.
First of all,
Yes?
nice to meet you.
Thank you, Mr. Boner Inspector. Hey, what kind of benefits do you get from this job? Is this like a contract
Benefits?
thing? Or are you like...
This is a work of passion, my son. The benefit is sometimes you come across a boner to inspect.
Well, I honestly, I tried. I really tried to get aroused with this film.
Hand on cock, you promised me you tried.
I didn't touch my penis the whole time, but I will say what I did do was
Wait, you didn't touch your penis the whole time? Or you didn't touch your penis the whole time?
well, there were moments where I had to drink water, type things, I'll tab away. You understand that I can't have my hands on my penis that whole time. No, the entire time I was watching this film, I never touched my penis. But I did try. And I think that I don't want to be too unfair on the actors because they are beautiful people and they're very attractive. But it was the sort of mind control element coupled with the baffling plot meant it was too difficult for me to go hard on my dick.
Very well. I shall ignore you and your flaccid penis hereforth.
What about Guy?
Yeah,
Did you
man.
get a
What
boner?
about me? No, I was furious the whole movie. I hated it. I got nothing for you. Well, fuck the lot of you. Goodbye.
See you, Boner Inspector. I really respect that guy.
He gets in and he gets out, doesn't he?
He's there every time. He's a real...
He does
he's
his
reliable.
work.
I was
Do you
gonna
think he's
say
happy?
stalwart, but that's not quite right.
Do you
I
think
don't
he's
think
happy?
he's very happy.
You think
not
he's
with
sad?
us. I don't know what he does when he's not checking in on our podcast. I imagine that there's an ocean of boners for him to inspect in the wide world.
It's like Santa.
He described it as a work of passion, inspecting boners.
But you say like if you think of comedy, it starts as a hobby or a passion, and then you do enough of it that eventually you build it into your life.
Uh-oh, guys, at that stage in proximity to the comedy festival where he hates doing stand-up again.
I literally love doing stand up.
And yet, Guy, can I tell everyone what you said to me when I asked you how you were today? When I got on the
go
Zoom
for it.
call today, I said, Guy, it's so good to see you. How are you? And Guy said, I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I fucking do every day.
I did not quite say that.
No, sorry. I'm misrepresenting you. What did you say, Guy? I asked
said
you
something along the
what
lines
you've
of,
been up to, and then you said,
I'm doing whatever the fuck it is that I do.
sorry, that's what it was. You said, I've been up to, I don't know what I've been doing. I guess it's whatever the fuck it is I do. And then I said, Guy, are you depressed? And then you got very defensive.
Look, Hing, you literally caught me at a time just after I'd finished watching this movie. And it's impossible for me to divorce the fact I just watched this movie with the fact I'm talking to you. I'm sorry I didn't put my best foot forward.
You're in the refractory period.
If we were to catch up independent of this podcast,
Yes.
you get a much healthier review of my
Hang-
life and well-being.
I'm not a wealthy man. I currently don't have much money to my name, but I would pay hundreds of dollars to just teleport to Melbourne right now, just to spend the afternoon with you.
Yeah.
Just to hang out, man. Walk the streets.
It would be lovely. It'd be lovely.
When do you
lunch.
start doing? What night do you start doing comedy?
It is the Wednesday, the 24th of March. Is
Holy
when I'm kicking
heck.
it off. Yeah.
Holy heck! And how many times do you do it?
Doing, I think, 15 shows. Yeah, which is, or maybe 13 shows. I'm doing 13 or 15 shows, I think.
It's an odd number.
It
Between
is.
13
It
and
is.
15.
But this is like the first time I've done a comedy festival in like 3 years, I think, because the last couple were cancelled, and then I was working and stuff. So it's it's like weird, and it's weird that you guys aren't here. I'm going to be honest, it's really strange. It's really strange our New Zealand friends aren't here.
I hate it.
I'm not big on that either. I wish I was there, but alas, such is life. A very minor penance to pay, considering the scale of the issue. Mm-hmm. And what's your show called?
The show is called Kill Hing in the Name of. It's a very funny title. And it is, and the show is kind of about, I started a new job at the start of last year in 2020 and immediately began getting death threats from people who don't like me. And it's a show about sort of dealing with that. It's very good
Sounds like
comedy.
a laugh a minute.
Very comedic. Very comedic.
Well, there's someone else here. There's someone else at the door.
There's always another person. We're just going to open the door to another of our friends, Michael.
Another character.
And, I hope you like him.
Hold on. This feels very low energy. I feel like this whole episode I've not been putting my best foot forward, and we're almost at the end. Let me run to the door to go and answer it. Hello.
Hello, Tim.
George fucking Lazenby, my man.
Weren't you locked away in a? I thought you were locked away in a vault, and you were never to come out.
No.
Are you sure? Are you sure that in the last episode you weren't locked in a vault, and then it was said that you weren't going to come out of this vault ever again?
Well, I say a lot of things, but I don't recall.
It's so interesting to be joined by someone who remembers anything that has transpired on our podcast, because I tell you what, the two hosts of the show, we say a lot of things and then we press the big red button that stops it recording, and then those things may as well not exist for us anymore.
Did you have to escape from the giant vault that Tim locked you away in?
What did I get locked in a vault for?
I genuinely have no memory of this.
I'm pretty sure what happened was Tim found, I guess, your presence and your character somewhat annoying, and then he cursed you and locked you away in a vault. I'm pretty sure.
Fuck. This is ruthless. I must have let him out and forgotten that I'd done that as well.
It also could be that
You're also both forgetting that I'm a Bond and I can get out of any sticky situation.
that is
very
true.
true.
In fact, I'm looking to get into a sticky situation.
Yes.
I may
And
well
that's
have
where Hang
misinterpreted
comes
that.
in.
So I may have well misinterpreted that. So I might be wrong as well.
Michael, let me tell you a little about myself. I'm George Lazenby. I have my own website where I sell signed posters of the only Bond film I got to star in. And I've had an erection plaguing me for many, many years.
Yes.
I have a huge amount of money. I would like to invest in a pornographic picture that could relieve me of the agony that is a constant erection.
Your swollen nuts, as it were.
And my swollen member. Yes, but yes, in short, yes.
So, Michael Hing, you're a creative man. We know this about you. You're a hilarious man. We know that from the title of your comedy show.
You've obviously received some of my messages since starting your new job. We know that about you.
So, what would be tremendous is if you could pitch a potential pornographic film to our man George Lazenby, who can try and get some sweet relief if it reaches the bar.
And am I meant to pitch him? I'll pitch him Emmanuel 2001. Is that the idea?
You can pitch whatever you want. I mean, you could pitch that too if you can make it sexy. Because I think we've just assessed it was pretty convoluted and unsexy.
Yeah. I think, Mr. Lazenby, I think that maybe a while back, I guess when I was growing up, a lot of the pornography that I would see advertised or around would be a sort of a parody pornographic film of it'd be Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's a porno now, or Transformers the movie, but it's a porno or whatever. I don't know. Those are the only two movies I could think of. I don't know if there's a Transformers porn parody, but I wonder if
It's expensive.
if there is
Pirates, by the way, was the first ever $1 million plus budget porn.
Well, I had no idea, but I wonder if there is scope for a pornographic parody of a podcast. Now, there is a podcast that I love, that I think a lot of people listening to this show would love. It's called The Worst Idea of All Time. It's two guys. They're great. They're very funny. They've got great chemistry. I wonder if there's, Mr. Lazenby, if you would like to watch them fuck and or suck each other.
Jesus
Hold
fucking
on.
Christ.
I'm sorry, I seem to be getting my wires crossed. So you're pitching two things. One of them is a sort of a porn parody of a podcast, and the other one is two hosts of a pre-existing podcast recording themselves on video sucking and fucking.
Well, you want to get the original cast, obviously. It's true. You think the Macca's of Pirates?
How often do the original cast appear in parodies?
Never. That's why I'm saying it would be incredible to watch. Yeah, imagine if that was in your contract. You finish doing the Avengers, and then the next thing they're like, all right, guys, now we start shooting on the Avengers porn parody. And Chris Hemsworth's like, oh God, I don't know why I signed this contract, but I guess I've got to fuck, I don't know, Hugh Jackman or whatever now, dressed as Wolverine.
Well, it's an interesting idea.
Can I just go on the record as saying I love it? It's very innovative. I like the concept. I think the realities of it would probably be not exactly for me, but
I don't think it's quite the fix for what ails me, but conceptually you could be onto a big money spinner there, Michael.
Wait, you're saying you don't want to see Guy and Tim just...
I'm not saying
hold on, let him finish the sentence. I want to hear what the final words of that phrase were.
You don't want to see Guy and Tim just really fold each other up and tear each other open, you know? You don't want to see that?
Whoa, wait.
I'm not saying I don't want to see that. I'm just saying I don't think it will fix my erection.
What do you want to watch it for? More like scientific purposes, George.
Well, you know,
Curiosity.
if they're going to do it, I wouldn't want to disrespect them by not checking it out.
So it's like Evel Knievel jumping a bunch of flaming buses. It's like you don't want him to do it because he could die, but if he's going to do it, you want to be there.
Because
I would say to them, I don't want to see you do it, but then when I found out that they did it anyway, then I would want to see it.
Exactly, I got you. Yeah, okay, that's cool.
I guess, I guess, sorry to have really railroaded this into a place that is very strange, but given that you both have a live show coming up where you will be performing challenges to see who is the best host, I do wonder if this is an element we could include in that live performance.
Well, that's right. Who is better at relieving George Lazenby's 2-meter constant erection?
I'm trying to think of the logistics on stage of how Guy and I would compete for that title, and it has made me chuckle just thinking about.
I imagine it would be illegal. To show that.
Well,
Time will tell.
food for thought.
We'll see what the good people of Q Theatre have to say about it all. Anyway, George, no relief this time. Better luck next time. Goodbye.
Okay.
Michael Hing, we're going to wrap things up.
Thank you so much for having me.
For joining us.
I'm sorry things got so strange at the end there.
No, it was a joy. One more time. Kill Hing in the Name of.
Killing in the name of at the Comedy Republic
on Wednesday, March 24th.
It's out. That's tomorrow. We're recording this the day before that date.
And
yeah.
I want to know this. What venue are you in?
I'm in the Comedy Republic, which is, I think, the best comedy venue in the country.
Oh, fuck. Lucky you.
Potentially best in the Southern Hemisphere. Take that, the classic.
Yeah, you really put the boot in there to the classic.
I've never been there. I'm sure it's
our
lovely.
venue in Auckland.
I'm sure it's lovely.
That's right. And if we are talking about live shows, the worst idea of all time live show is happening in the New Zealand International Comedy Festival at the best comedy venue for that show.
Sort of. There's links to all of these things and Guy and my show in the show notes and Hing's show in the show notes if I've done my job correctly. Also, Hing's got a great podcast, Free to a Good Home, which you should check out.
You've both been guests, both together and separately on that show.
That's right.
And one of the main reasons I miss you guys at the Comedy Festival is I can't recruit you into being in a live podcast, which would have been so much fun.
Or sell your exciting new merch to us.
Oh, yeah. Would you guys like some drink bottles? We're selling drink bottles that say on them, not filled with cum, if anyone wants those.
I heard they sold out.
Yeah.
Did you sell out of them?
We're doing a second run. Yeah.
Fuck, well done. Well done, you
It's a great thing to put on a drink bottle. My sincere congratulations. Thank you so much, Michael. Have
See
a
you,
wonderful
mate.
festival.